Ok, vamos a start.
Empezar.
¿Qué?
Empezar. ¿Sí?
Empezar.
Sí.
Vamos a empezar. Sí.
¿Es correcto, Yael?
Así, muy correcto. Vamos a empezar.
Muy
Yo también
correcto.
estoy cansado.
Oh,
¿Tú estás cansada? ¿Cansado? Lo siento.
Ah,
Sí.
sí, estamos cansados.
Todas las personas están cansados. Oh,
Mm,
Jesse está aquí. Hola, hola. Jesse. Posible. Okay. Let's start. Clase.
sí.
Sí.
El gato Floyd está aquí. Oh, pero el gato tiene un problema. Oh, no,
Oh,
clase.
no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
No,
Pero, sí. Hola, Jessie.
sorry, my
Hola.
problemas con su computadora.
Oh. Oh,
Pero ahora
no.
está bien.
Sí, ahora mismo está bien porque tú estás aquí con nosotros. Clase,
Sí.
Sí.
¿tiene el gato Floyd solo un problema?
¿Qué es
Sí,
un
no.
problema?
Sí. Él no tiene solo un problema. ¿Por qué, clase? Porque él tiene ¿cuántos problemas?
un
¿Tres?
problema.
Sí, 3 problemas. Sí, él tiene 3 problemas. Stephanie, wait, tú no eres Stephanie.
Mm,
Tú eres
Sí,
Elena,
es obvio.
la chica con el gato que tiene muchos problemas. ¿Cuál es problema número 1, Elena, de tu gato?
Mm, um, número, el problema
¿Sí?
número 1 es que mi gato Floyd no, a él no le gustan los colores del su pelos.
Sí, sí. Problema número 1 es que al gato Floyd no le gustan los colores morado y azul de su pelo. Sí. Es un gran problema. ¿Sí, clase? Suching
No,
piensa que no es un gran problema. ¿Por
no,
qué?
porque es muy fácil a cambiar sus colores de su pelo.
Oh, tú piensas que es muy fácil para cambiar los colores del pelo, ¿sí?
Sí, sí,
Oh, hmm.
¿no?
Sí.
Como persona, como las personas, como nosotros.
Pero no es permanente. I don't know if that's a real word, but no es permanent. ¿Sí? No.
Permanente, permanente.
Permanent. ¿Ya?
Ente and
sí,
ante,
permanente.
ante. Okay.
Permanente.
Can you spell it?
Sure.
Pero no es importa, porque el gato cambiar su opinión.
Oh, ¿en
Pero no
serio?
Sí,
¿Él necesita cambiar su opinión de su pelo?
no necesito, pero
You no necesito? You
Me?
said, you said necesito.
Oh, no,
I.
no, no. No, no, no. I said no es no es importa
Mm,
que su carro es no es permanente
mm.
porque es posible el gato cambiar su
Ah,
opinión
es,
sobre
cambiará, right? Will change. I don't know. It's
Ajá,
possible that he,
cambiará.
es posible que he might change
might change.
his idea in the future. Cambié.
Oh, okay.
So this is, okay,
Also, cambie with the accent. Es posible que el gato cambie.
cambié. Sí.
Cambié.
Es
Su opinión.
posible. So this is with doubt. This is doubt. So change, and then there's a feeling of doubt. So es posible que él cambie su opinión del color de su pelo. Entonces, tú piensas que no es un problema si el color del pelo es permanente o no es permanente. ¿Sí?
Correcto. Muy correcto.
No. Pero el gato Floyd quiere tener el pelo que es real, que es realmente rojo. Entonces, él necesita un mago para cambiar su pelo.
Sí,
Sí,
es obvio.
es obvio. Él necesita un mago gato.
Yeah.
Sí.
No,
Un, un mago gato. Sí.
You like that, Yale? Ya es. ¿Te
Yeah.
es
gusta?
obvio.
Sí. Jesse, ¿qué es un mago? Auf English. En inglés. Sí.
Oh, oh. I don't know. I wasn't here last week. Who was?
Oh no. What does it mean? ¿Qué significa mago en inglés?
Um, a cat magician.
Someone's got an alarm going off.
Oh, that's me.
The cat, the magician,
Cat magician.
the magician, is that how you spell magician? Yeah. Who is a cat? Yeah, there's not really a who is a cat, but this is the, the qualifier of it's a cat magician, So if we keep it in the Spanish order, then we could say, the magician who is a cat. So, el mago gato. Sí. Él necesito un mago gato para cambiar su pelo al rojo. ¿Sí?
Sí.
Sí. Porque problema número 1 es que a él no le gusta el color de su pelo, los colores del pelo. Él quiere tener el pelo rojo. ¿Por qué, Jesse? ¿Por qué quiere él tener el pelo rojo? ¿Por qué?
Porque él tiene un corazón de fuego y es rojo. Y quiere el pelo la misma.
Sí. Él tiene su fuego en su corazón y el fuego es rojo y también el color favorito es rojo. Es el rojo. Sí. Su color favorito es el rojo. Sí. Entonces, él quiere cambiar su pelo a rojo y no quiere tener el pelo que es morado y azul. A él no le gusta este pelo, este pelaje. A él no le gusta. Sí. Pero, ¿y a él? ¿Te gusta el color o te gustan los colores del pelo del gato?
Sí, sí, a mí me gustan mucho los colores del pelo del gato.
Sí.
De hecho, el morado es mi color favorito.
Sí, el morado es tu color favorito. Entonces, a ti te gusta el morado en su pelo. Sí. ¿Y qué piensas tú? ¿Piensas tú que el morado y el azul van bien juntos?
Oh, sí, el morado y el azul van muy bien juntos.
Sí, van muy bien juntos. Son amigos colores. Sí, muy bien. Ok, ahora mismo, clase, describe la situación. ¿Qué es o cuál es el problema número 1 del Floyd? Y darles 1 minuto y 44 segundos para describir la situación del gato Floyd. Y si tú has terminado con el problema número 1 antes de que el tiempo está terminado, entonces tú puedes decir sobre otras cosas del gato Floyd o de Elena. ¿Ok? Muy bien. ¿Hay preguntas? No hay preguntas. Ok. Listo. Fuera. Ok. El tiempo. ¿Cómo se dice? El tiempo está terminado. El tiempo.
Ajá, el tiempo se ha acabado.
Oh, that's right. Se ha acabado. You said that last time.
Acabado.
Acabado. Se ha acabado. Se ha acabado.
Acabado significa
It is finished, right? Itself
Ujú. It
has
has finished also.
finished.
okay.
Yeah.
Can I have a question?
Sí.
What's the ¿cómo se dice if the cat changes his hair color,
Mhm.
it wouldn't be permanent. How do
Mm,
I say the if sentence? Because I
Sí.
don't know how to change the cambiar.
Sí.
Mm.
Si el gato. Let's see, I'll take a stab at it and yeah, it will help us. Si el gato so this is a supposition because it would most likely be true. Si el gato cambia el pelo al rojo, ¿sí? Entonces, no sería permanente. It wouldn't be permanent. So if the cat, or we could say if the cat changed the hair to red, then, then it wouldn't be permanent. Is there a better way to say that, Yael?
Well, I think that's fine. I would only use rojo. Cambia el pelo a
Rojo,
rojo.
okay. Rojo,
Or
because
just
it's not a
su pelo.
specific red.
And with su pelo.
Su pelo.
Su pelo rojo.
So
Exact.
if the cat if the cat changes his hair to red, any red, then it wouldn't be permanent. And then you could say, see, now here there's going to be some doubt. So, si el gato, quiera, would you say, quiera cambiar?
Quería.
Or querría?
Querría cambiar. O quisiera.
Yeah, quisiera. Okay.
Yeah.
Quisiera.
Quisiera cambiar su pelo a otro color. Entonces, no sería un problema porque el color no. Would you still carry the doubt, or would you say no es permanente?
No, you would still carry the doubt.
You still carry the doubt. Okay, no sería permanente. Can you follow that? Is that right? Yeah.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
totally right.
So, oh, sorry. Just as you're trying to read it there. Su-Ching, do you want to give a stab at translating that into English to make sure that we are on the same page about it?
Yeah. So if the cat changes, so here there's no doubt. Just say
Right.
changes.
Yep.
Okay, interesting. Changes her hair to red.
His hair.
Oh, sorry, his hair.
Yeah,
I don't distinguish her and he.
Oh, yeah.
His. I'm Chinese.
Yeah, right.
His hair
His hair
to
red.
Then it wouldn't be permanent.
It wouldn't be permanent. Yeah.
If
it wouldn't be permanent. And I mean, technically, to make this make a little more sense, we need to say something about the dye not being permanent. You know, because for me, this feels a little strange to say, if the cat changes his hair to red, then it wouldn't be permanent. Well, how do we know? You know, like if he changes it with dye or something, you know, it wouldn't be permanent, but that's okay for now.
Una pregunta por
Sí.
favor. Si el gato cambia su pelo I thought, like, if you're talking about like your hand or whatever, it's L, or, you know, you don't put the possessive pronoun. So
I had written el pelo and Yael said change it to su. So I did.
oh, okay. I just heard, like, you know, like if like if you say my head hurts, me duele el cabeza, el cabeza, not mi cabeza. So that's why I was wondering, how do we know when to do su versus el? Does that make sense? I'm not sure I'm asking the question very well.
Okay, yeah, I think that, for example, in this case, it's because when we say el pelo, we need again to be specific, like si el gato cambia el pelo de su cabeza, because hair, like we can have hair, but in specific parts of the body, but just in general, the whole hair, like su pelo, we need to be like his hair, because he has it with him, I guess. But also with the expression me duele la cabeza or mi cabeza, both things are fine. In this case also, la cabeza, mi cabeza. Yeah, but these ones are a little tricky, the ones with the parts of the body.
Okay,
Muy bien.
gracias.
Yes, Suching.
I don't know this, but how I feel like I would prefer to say, even if he changes his hair,
Okay.
it wouldn't be like, it wouldn't be permanent anyway, you know. I don't know, if he changes his hair, then it wouldn't be permanent. It doesn't make sense to me at all. You mean, you know, the if then.
Right.
But maybe it's because English is not my mother tongue. That's why it doesn't
Sure.
make sense to me.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Mm.
So how do we say even if?
Aunque?
No, that's even though.
No.
So,
Aún sí.
Aún si. Oh, okay, I was right. Aún si. Aún si el gato cambia. Aún si el gato cambia su pelo a rojo, entonces no sería permanente.
Could you say entonces el color no sería?
Yeah, probably. Entonces el color.
Porque es un dye, whatever dye is.
Sí.
I don't know what dye is in
Sí.
Spanish.
you'd say then or but, even if, but, huh? Which one would you use?
Even
In
if the cat changes his hair to red, we wouldn't even just say, we wouldn't say anything.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, I remember this. In
El
Chinese,
color.
we would say even if, but. That's why it doesn't make sense to me. Ah, got it.
Okay. Aun si el gato cambia su pelo a rojo,
Mm.
el tinte, the tint, the dye,
Mhm.
el tinte no sería permanente. Thanks, yeah.
Okay.
And then this
yeah,
one. See?
I want to see in Spanish. Do you guys say even if, but, or you just say even if? You can't say but.
Even if he. No, I don't think we would with even if.
Oh,
Even if,
okay.
I don't think we say that in English, do we?
No.
You don't say it in English. That's why I'm
Even-
curious in Spanish.
Hmm.
Do you need something before el tinte no sería permanente? Or it sounds all right. I won't see it.
He's talking to himself to see.
No, yeah, I think tinte no sería permanente. No.
No, just
Yeah,
like this.
no,
Okay,
yeah,
that's great.
yeah. Even if el gato cambia su pelo. Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's because it contains the feeling of but,
Yeah.
So we
It
still
is
have
hard.
we still have that idea in English and in Spanish, like you do in Chinese. It's in Chinese, you have a word to say. So yeah, I think that because we're all humans and because we all communicate,
Yeah.
the differences in languages are whether or not we have words to say it, or if it's in context, or if it's in tone and inflection of voice, of like where something appears in a language. Because if everything didn't exist in every language, then we wouldn't be able to even explain, like in Japanese, they have these words that don't exist in English at all. And we need a whole phrase to explain this word. The word still exists in English, but it exists in the form of a phrase. It doesn't exist in the form of a word that can be easily used, which is where, we would use the Japanese word to describe what we want to say rather than using the English word or English words, because you can just use the Japanese word to convey that whole feeling.
Like
Yeah.
Kaizen or something.
Right. Or like the Japanese word naruhodo. Like we say naruhodo in English, we say it in other languages, but it doesn't have the same context around it. It doesn't have the same culture. It doesn't have the same feeling. So we wouldn't say it the same way with English words. We could, but it wouldn't carry the same feeling and the same weight as just saying naruhodo, which is why I think it's beneficial for everyone to learn many, many languages so that you can just use the expressions or the functions or the structures from each language that suit the mood or the situation or the thing, rather than being limited to your one little language. But yeah, I believe that it's really helpful to use your native language as a foundation to help you understand things that don't exist as a commonplace in your language, to make it comprehensible, and then so you can use it over and over and over and over and over again to ingrain that aspect of the culture or the language or whatever that it was foreign. Because if you have nothing to stand on, unless you're thrown into the culture and then you can live out those aspects of the language in a way that's comprehensible, then it's hard to even to grasp it, So, yeah. So if the cat, so this has doubt, and this has the most amount of doubt, right? Yeah, this is the most doubtful of the quisiera, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that is not possible. That is like, oh, maybe.
Yeah, this has a lot of doubt versus quiera, right? There's like two levels of doubt, right?
I think that, yeah, that is a good form to explain this form in Spanish, because we can say, for example, hopefully the cat would want, ojalá que el gato quiera. It's not possible, but
Can you type it?
quiera, it's like, oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, because your internet is really shaky, so it's best if you're typing what you're saying too.
I think he
Oh,
was
sure.
using-
Yeah, because yeah.
Ojalá. Ojalá.
La que el gato quiera.
Yeah,
So,
hola. Yeah, right. Okay, so if the cat were to change, and this is with quite a lot of doubt, his hair to another color, then it wouldn't be a problem, because the color, we'll say that we'll change it to the dye. The dye wouldn't be permanent. El tinte. So, muy bien. Su Ching piensa que si el gato quisiera cambiar su pelo a otro color, entonces no sería un problema porque el tinte no sería permanente. Entonces, él podría cambiar su pelo al otro color. You know, he could would be able to change his hair al otro color. Pero él quiere tener el pelo rojo y ahora mismo no tiene. Clase,
Sí.
Sí.
¿cuál es el problema número 2?
No teléfono.
Sí, él no tiene un teléfono para gatos. ¿Y por qué querría tener un teléfono para gatos, clases?
Hablar con sus amigos.
Sí, porque él quiere hablar con sus amigos gatos. Pero ahora mismo no puede porque no tiene un teléfono. Ahora mismo describe la situación. Describe la situación sobre el problema número 1 y el problema número 2. El problema número 2 es que él no tiene un teléfono para hablar con sus amigos gatos. Entonces, querría tener uno. ¿Ok? Describe, por favor. 3, 1, 3, 2, 1. Muy bien, el tiempo se ha acabado. Sí. Can you use that for people too? Acabado. Hemos, no. Like, hemos acabado. Or,
Sí.
¿sí? Oh,
Ujú.
muy bien. Ok, clase.
Sí.
Sí.
El gato tiene muchos problemas. 3 problemas. Jesse, Jessie.
Sí.
Oh,
Lo siento.
Blanca está aquí. ¿Cuál es problema número 1?
Número 1, no, Floyd no es contento, está contento.
Sí, no está contento.
No está contento con su pelo. Quiero pelo, el pelo rojo, pero Floyd tiene el pelo morado y azul.
Sí. Hola, Blanca. Sí, correcto. Él quiere tener el pelo rojo, pero tiene el pelo azul y morado y no está contento con esto, con este hecho, with this fact. Sí. Elena, ¿cuál es problema número 2? Por favor.
El problema número 2 es que Floyd no tiene el teléfono para gatos.
Sí, él no tiene un teléfono para gatos, para hablar con sus amigos, que son también gatos. Sí,
Sí.
sí. Y para problema número 1, él necesita un mago gato para cambiar su pelo a rojo. Y él no sabe dónde hay magos gatos, pero es posible que haya una persona en nuestra clase que sabe dónde están los magos gatos. Pero ahora mismo no estamos seguros. Suchen, ¿cuál es el problema número? ¿Do I say cuál o do I say qué? ¿Qué es el problema número 3? ¿Ya?
¿Cuál?
¿Cuál? Okay, that's what I thought, but I wasn't sure because we don't say that in English. So, Suchen, ¿cuál es el problema número? Well, we can, but it's not as common. ¿Cuál es el problema número 3 en la vida del gato?
No estoy seguro, pero yo creo que el problema número 3 es Elena no puede o no
No quiere.
no quiere comprar un teléfono para el gato,
Sí.
pero Elena no le lo dijo.
Sí, no le lo dijo. Sí. No le dijo lo. ¿No le lo dijo?
No le lo dijo.
No
Would
sé
you
lo
think
dijo.
No se lo dijo. Oh, no se lo dijo. No to himself. Sí. Oh, gracias, Blanca. Sí. No se lo dijo. Sí. No se lo dijo. Oh, sí. Elena no quiere cambiar un teléfono para el gato, para Floyd, porque ella sabe que él olvidó there we go, olvidó a hablar en gato. Olvidó. I knew it was something like that. Olvidó. Él olvidó hablar en gato. Entonces, ella sabe que si ella compra un teléfono, entonces it would be a waste of money. Porque él no puede hablar en gato ahora mismo. Él olvidó. Él olvidó. Whoops. Oh my
Can
God.
you say all those sentences again? I'm kind of lost.
Sí, él olvidó hablar en gato. Sí. Él olvidó cómo hablar en el gato. ¿Sí?
You
Él
forgot to
o
talking
ella.
cat?
¿Ah? ¿Suching?
Él o ella.
Él.
Oh.
Sí, el gato. Sí,
Oh.
sí,
Entiendo.
sí.
Gracias.
Gracias.
You
Él,
forgot how to talk in cat? Is that what-
sí, sí.
Oh, okay.
Sí,
Cat
él
language.
olvidó hablar en el gato. Hablar en gato, ¿sí? Hablar
Sí.
en el idioma gato.
Okay,
¿Sí?
okay. That's where I was
No,
getting lost. Okay,
sí.
okay.
Él olvidó. ¿Por qué?
Oh,
Oh, Elena necesita ir. Adiós, Elena. Sí, él olvidó. Entonces, ¿por qué? Porque por mucho tiempo solo hablar con Elena en inglés. Entonces, no recuerda hablar en gato. Solo en inglés. Pero él quería hablar con sus amigos gatos y sus amigos solo pueden hablar en gato. Pero la semana pasada, en la semana pasada, Su-Ching nos dijo que él necesita tener un teléfono para ver los videos del idioma gato para aprender a hablar otra vez en gato. Pero Elena no quiere comprar un teléfono porque son caros. Sorry, son caros. Son muy caros los teléfonos. Sí. Jessie,
sí.
¿quiere Elena sí, quiere comprar Elena un teléfono para Floyd?
Elena no quiere comprar un teléfono para Floyd, o es
Sí, para Floyd. Sí, para Floyd.
porque es muy caro.
Sí.
Y Elena no quiere spend or pagar, no quiere pagar demasiado dinero.
Sí, no quiere faltar, maybe. I don't know.
Pagar, to pay.
Yeah, pay or lose or spend. Yeah. No quiere gastar. Gracias. Yeah.
Gracias.
No
Gracias.
quiere gastar mucho dinero para un teléfono a que el gato Floyd no puede usar porque él no puede hablar en gato ahora mismo. Sí.
Sí.
Su-Ching, ¿qué piensas tú?
Lo siento, pero ¿cuál es el question?
¿Qué piensas
Una
tú
pregunta.
sobre el problema número 3, que Elena no quiere comprar un teléfono para su gato porque él no puede hablar en gato ahora mismo? Pero tú
No,
piensas, tú tienes otra opinión, ¿sí?
sí, yo creo que el gato necesita tener su vida también,
Mm,
su vida de gato, no solamente su vida como, no, con las personas. Y por
Entonces,
supuesto,
oh,
entonces, el gato el gato, I'm very confused with the need, necesita
sí,
o
necesita.
tiene que. I
Tiene
don't know
que, has to. So, has to is a little like there's no choice. Like there's kind of a force against him, like
Okay.
something that's forcing him to do it,
Okay.
where necesita is like a need, like he
Ah,
needs it in order to, so there's a bit of a wanting but not quite, like he needs it to do this thing. If he doesn't have it, then he can't do it. Yeah. So you could say like, oh, tengo que ir, like I have to go because I have an appointment. There's a force forcing me to go and I have no choice. necesita or necesito ir means like, oh, I need to go. Like, I like have an internal desire. I need to go. Does that make it's a tiny little difference, but
Sí.
yeah.
Pero entiendo.
Muy bien.
Así que el gato necesita un teléfono para aprender el idioma de el gato,
Sí, el idioma gato, sí.
el idioma gato y cuando el gato puede hablar el idioma gato, el gato puede hablar con los gatos. Again, oh my God, I'm translating from English.
It's okay.
Yeah,
Los gatos, ¿sí? Los gatos.
los
Sí.
gatos.
Sí, él necesita tener un teléfono para ver los videos, para aprender el idioma gato otra vez, ¿sí? Porque él quiere hablar con sus amigos gatos y sus amigos solo hablan en el idioma gato. Sí, muy bien. Ok, ahora mismo, clase, describe la situación sobre los 3 problemas. ¿Cuál es el problema número 1, número 2 y número 3? ¿Y qué piensan ustedes sobre los problemas? ¿Y hay otras soluciones de los problemas o no? Ahora mismo, ustedes tienen 2 minutos 44 segundos. 4 segundos. 4 segundos, sí. Muy bien. ¿Hay preguntas? Listo. Fuera. El tiempo se ha acabado. Muy bien. Okay. So, hay preguntas.
Okay, I was trying to make a sentence. I said, if Floyd would watch YouTube videos,
Mhm.
then Elena would buy him a telephone. Would those all be, because they're using the would that be, if he would watch, would that be vería and compraría? Will we use those two?
So I think you were actually in English, we would say if he were to watch. So if he were to watch.
Oh, okay, because
Okay.
see, I was saying if he would watch. So okay, that's why I was wanting to do the RIA stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Because this is a possibility. And there's some doubt, you know.
Okay.
So yes, right. So si Floyd viera. So all of your most doubting situations are going to have this estuviera, tuviera, viera, hubiera, this iera. This is the most amount of doubt, right? It's the most amount of doubt. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the most amount of doubt about, you know, if something were to happen. Okay. Now this will change depending on the context, of course. It's not always going to be were to. You know, sometimes it could be in the future. Like Yal sent me an example of where it's something in the future. I hope that you will whatever, and it's still using this most amount of doubt, right? Okay. So what we need to just remember most about this is it were to watch and most doubt. Okay, so if Floyd were to watch, now you're going to shift into what you wanted to say.
Okay.
If Floyd, si Floyd viera los videos do I say del idioma gato? Or is there a better way to say that? Yeah. Okay.
O
Okay.
del idioma de los gatos.
De los gatos. De los gatos. Okay.
Del idioma de los gatos.
Oh,
El-
del idioma de los gatos. Oh, yeah. Idioma de los gatos. Entonces, so, and entonces is your key word here for your ria. See, entonces,
Elena compraría un
sí,
teléfono.
Elena, sorry, Elena, capitalize your name. Elena would want to or could compraría un teléfono. I spelled this wrong here. Yeah, just one. Compraría un teléfono para gatos. Para
Would it be un teléfono para gatos or un teléfono gatos para él?
if you say un teléfono gato or un teléfono gatos, it's saying like the phone is a cat, like because you're describing. So this is why I kind of like this new phrase, like that is a cat. So if I say un teléfono gato, it's like I'm saying a telephone that is a cat.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Or if I say mi pelo morado, my hair that is blue. So when you put the thing after the end. Or I mean purple, yes, thank you. Morado, purple. Just some people don't know. They say it. I'm like, oh, that's purple. And they're like, no, that's blue. I'm like, wait, what? Sí. Un teléfono para gatos, para él. So the para is saying that it's a telephone for cats.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then por, you're going to use that for like time or a means whereby. Well, that's por medio de, but like still it's the por. Or escrito por.
If you said if you bought it for $20, would you say por?
Sí, sí. Yeah.
Por $20.
Por $20. ¿Sí? ¿No?
Okay. No?
Sí. I'm getting a head nod.
Okay. I
Muy
couldn't see his
bien.
head.
Sí, muy bien.
He's like me, it's getting dark. I gotta turn my light on. Hang on a second.
Yeah, sí. Hay otras preguntas.
There, let there be.
How was so I had a timer here. Every 10 minutes, describe the situation. Because I always say I need to do more describe the situations. When I'm a student, I want more describe the situations. But then when you're a teacher and you start questioning people and you get into the questioning and you question and like 25 minutes go by. So I was like, okay, I'm going to put a timer here. So every 10 minutes, we describe the situation. So what was that like as a student?
Amazing. I like it. It would be too hard to describe the whole situation in the end.
Yeah.
Not as in, yes. That makes me think I need to do more describe the situation in my class too.
Yeah. More chances to practice, more chances. Sorry, Jesse. Another thing is that like when you have multiple levels in your class, that gives more opportunities for differentiation. Students always say, how do you differentiate your classes? Blah, 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 blah. And I think the mindset is inappropriate of differentiating content. You don't need to differentiate content. You need to differentiate or you need to let the method differentiate for your students. Describe the situation is automatically differentiation because students will say whatever language they can say. Now, we didn't do any public DTSs, so I would also like to do a public, a DTS, describe the situation that everyone can hear so that I can get feedback about my students' language. Because when I don't hear your language, then I get no feedback. And it doesn't write my lessons. I have a new quotation that Catherine put into a poster that she's put in her classroom. And they're my words. It's like so humbling. But I said, I don't mind errors, semicolon. They write my lesson plans. But if we don't hear our students speaking, if we don't hear their describe the situation, then we can't get those errors to write our lesson plan. So we don't know where to go. So that was the only thing I didn't do in this class today was there was no public I heard some of what you said because I asked you questions and I told you to tell me your opinion, but I don't get a fuller snapshot without a public describe the situation of the students. So, and you just don't do everything that you can do every class. This is why we have a marathon for 7 hours, but.
Yeah, I was going to say that last week in Vaughn's class, it kind of got really carried away because he was saying, well, I have this problem. What are some suggestions? And we had so many suggestions and people couldn't remember all of the suggestions when he'd say, well, okay, describe the situation. There were about
it's overwhelming.
Yeah, it was. And that was one of the critiques at the end of the class, was everybody said there was too much. It was just too much information. And so this week Craig has it, and Craig says, okay, we're going to stick with, he's kind of doing like you're doing, cutting it down. Okay, let's talk about the first problem, then the second problem, then third problem. Because it is too much. And then having everybody describe the situation privately and publicly. You were calling it what? Public?
Yeah, publicly.
Yes.
Yeah.
It helps others. Like if I say a sentence, it's the same sentence, but I may say it a little bit differently than somebody else. That's helpful just to hear others and how they're forming sentences. Plus, it also lets you know what's strong and what's weak in our language.
Well, and even if you said the exact same sentence that someone else says, it's another repetition.
Right.
And it's a confirmation that, oh, that is a sentence that exists.
Right.
And then when the teacher verifies it back, this is my limitation as a non-native speaker. Something that Yael would be able to do much better in Spanish is being able to regurgitate, describe the situations, restate, because technically what we want to do with describe the situations, I mean, intermediate's less so, but the teacher is always looking for the area for growth in the describe the situation. So when the student is done with the describe the situation, this is where I am not the best intermediate teacher. The teacher would take that sentence out or sentences and then re-verify, say, oh, see, blah, 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 whatever the student didn't say correctly, an area for teaching, an area for growth, and then slowing way down on the part that was inaccurate so that the student can hear it. They might not make the connection that, oh, I said this and this is what you're correcting, but they need to hear it. Noch einmal, one more time, they need to hear it. And I'm becoming more and more convinced as I teach about how slow we need to go and how we need to create an environment saturated with these Easter eggs, these little hidden, well, they're not hidden at all. They're in plain sight, hidden in plain sight features of the language, because these are the things of the language that are hard to grasp. And so we need the most exposure to them. And then we need to work on a way of making them succinctly clear to our students. And sometimes that means there might be some limitation to, how we translate it or this, that, or the other thing. And sometimes we have to translate in a whole phrase. Sometimes we have to translate in a concept or an idea. But if the student doesn't have anything to latch onto to notice what they hear, it's incomprehensible. It goes by incomprehensibly, and it's a missed opportunity for the student to acquire that idea or that concept or that word or whatever it is. So our time is precious in this class, and I want to capitalize on every moment that we have to make everything that I can make 100% comprehensible. Even if it means that the student and the teacher are slowing way down. I become more and more convinced of this, practicing that damn thing right over there. Because when we practice piano correctly, I will use that word even though it's a dangerous word to use, we never play, and I'm guilty of this, and I have to remind myself all the time, we never play faster than we can play perfectly. Because when we play faster than we can play perfectly, we are programming sloppy playing into our unconscious brain, and our unconscious mind then reproduces the sloppy playing. And then we get frustrated with the sloppy playing, and then we lose motivation to continue playing, which then stunts our growth. And then if we learn sloppy piano playing, we have to unlearn it later, and that makes more work for us.
Mhm.
So with language acquisition, let's go slowly enough so that our students make the fewest amount of mistakes possible, so that we're not ingraining those mistakes. They can unlearn them. They can, become aware of them later. So we don't want to adopt the mindset of like, oh, making a mistake is the worst thing ever because now they have to unlearn. We don't want to adopt that mindset. We don't want to take it to the extreme. We just want to be aware of, okay, we need to make an environment that's slow enough and rich enough for the student to make as few mistakes as possible and go step by step by step. And in piano, in the Russian School of Piano Playing, there is called the magnifying glass technique. And this is where you take one tiny little section of the piece that you're learning. It could be just a few notes that are giving you trouble. And you play it at a speed that's perfect. And you play it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again until it's automatic, until it's programmed into your subconscious mind. So we do a similar thing with our language classes, and TPRS helps us to make it so that it's not boring. We can be fun with it. We can play with it. We can repeat it in different ways. So there's lots of opportunity available to us in the TPRS class. Anyway, I'm on this long diatribe, so I'm going to stop talking.
I have a Hispanic friend, and she's really good about how she corrects me. Like even her sister who speaks no English at all is visiting her. And I was over there and they were making tortillas, or her sister was making tortillas and wanted to know if I wanted one. And I said, oh, this is really good. I said, I want you to teach me how to make it. And I said, I want you to help me to make it. And my friend kept saying, I know how to make it. I thought, shut up. I'm trying to get your sister involved in this situation. But I used the wrong verb. I said help instead of teach. And she said, oh, you want her to teach you how to make it. And she said it in Spanish.
Right.
And I said, yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. But she didn't say you said it wrong. She just
right.
She said it the correct way.
Right.
And I realized, oh yeah. And what's bad is, we may know a verb, but it comes out wrong every single time. I may know that it's hablo, but I may say habla every time.
Right.
And it's just hablo. Hablo español. But she will correct it in a way it's not offensive at all.
Right.
But it does help. And I think if we keep to more simple, you got to build small sentences, simple sentences first.
Yeah.
And then you can get into the if-then situations.
Right.
I really think the if-thens are getting a little complicated for the levels. I'm not real comfortable with doing if-then sentences right now.
Well, the other thing with if-then, see, the reason why we're having trouble with if-then, at least today in this situation, perhaps, is because we haven't built up a strong enough contextual meaning for if-then. We haven't built up a story that's leading us to really be bathing in this hypothetical situation. It just kind of came up of like, oh, if he changes there, it would be. So as a teacher, I have to build up the leading to a hypothetical question. So I don't know what that would look like yet off the top of my head. Okay, so here's an example is like, we actually had some hypotheticals way back in the beginning of this class that we're in right now, before you were here, of how like, George wants a Coca-Cola and there weren't any Coca-Colas in California. Well, this isn't an if then. This is a if it's possible. But then we were saying, oh, es posible que haya Coca-Colas en Chicago. Entonces, he's going to Chicago. because there might possibly be Coca-Colas in Chicago. And here it's a very clear context. It has very clear meaning. And so now we can actually engage with this structure that is perceived to be difficult for foreigners to grasp. You know, the reason it's difficult is because it's not a structure that comes up often.
Right.
It's not
We
a
can't
structure that, sorry?
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
It's not a structure that even comes up often in English.
Right. Most of the time
yeah.
we have it's a subject, verb, object, and we stick with that a lot. But, we do have other situations where it breaks off from that.
Right.
But whatever.
Sí. Muy bien. Blanca, ¿cómo estás? Blanca, you've never met Yael. Yael, Blanca. Blanca no está aquí. Oh, there she is. Hola.
She's usually eating.
Sí, this is a time
Yeah.
for her to eat.
Yeah. Yeah, she knows me.
Sí.
Yeah, I was having breakfast. Sí, todo bien. Hola, Yael, un gusto.
La aprovecho. ¿Eres de Colombia o de
De
dónde?
Perú. Perú.
Ah, órale.
Perú, sí.
Latinos.
Sí, latinos en la casa.
Sí.
Sí, muy bien.
Sí, todo bien. Well, in this class, I'm going to join a little, like at this hour, because I'm doing yoga until 9.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know if si Yael va a seguir uniéndose, o los dos te podemos ayudar también. We can both help you.
Sí, sí.
But yeah, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm great. I haven't seen you in so long.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
This heat is not helping.
Sí.
Yeah.
Yeah, Blanca está en Busan también.
Sí.
Busan, Corea. Sí.
Y es muy difícil embarazada. Pregnant.
Sí,
So-
she's pregnant.
So-
Sí, hay un bebé.
Baby's coming.
Sí. Sí,
¿Sabes?
sí, muy
Yeah,
bien.
that's one cognate that people get messed up all the time when they think they want to say I'm embarrassed, and they'll say embarazada.
Sí.
No, you're not pregnant.
Yeah. Sí, y también dicen a veces como excited, excitado is another meaning. That's it.
Oh yeah, another one. Another meaning.
That's a different meaning. Yeah, it's funny. But yeah, I've been doing good, and I've seen that your story is getting along with the cat and the phone and everything.
Yeah.
So now you're gonna do the explica la situación every 10 minutes, I think.
Well, yeah, I was trying to, I'm just trying to do them more often.
Yeah. Porque sí, es un montón de información.
Sí, and also because it feels better as a student to have more chances to speak, and to speak not in just one sentence or two sentences, but to actually use your own ability to speak.
Sí.
And and students need an opportunity to spontaneously produce language, because if they're always being asked questions, then they have to wait for someone to ask them a question to be able to speak in Spanish. Not really, but it can feel like if someone doesn't ask me a question in Spanish, then I don't even know where to start. So describe la situación gives more opportunities for students to just start talking.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
And I would-
hay un montón de información también. Jesse.
And I would suggest, before, Elena or Stephanie, before she had to leave, if maybe we do some group, like the public, describe the situations before, because some of us do have to jump off a little bit earlier.
Right.
So So we just need to make sure to do a public one pretty early on.
Yeah.
Just just so we can.
And I should make it a rule that if you're going to leave, let us know and then say, okay, I need to describe the situation before I leave.
That's a good idea.
because it's hard for me to remember,
Yeah.
because there's just so many balls that I'm juggling.
Really?
And
No.
yeah. And so like I knew that you had to leave early, but then I forgot. Because
Don't worry about it. We'll make that a rule next time. I'll try to remember. Suching, you try to remember too. Next time when we meet, we'll say, okay, if you gotta leave early, you gotta say.
Sí, hay una regla nueva que dice, que dice que una persona necesita decir, oh, necesito ir, tengo que ir, entonces necesitaría describir la situación antes de que yo necesito ir. Sí. Muy bien. Claro.
Okay. And would you send me the link again for your the Russian music thing? I've lost it. I can't find it. I had it on a.
Oh, Piano Career Academy. Sí.
Yeah.
Piano Career. How do you spell career? Academy.com. I think that's how you spell career, right? It just looks funny.
I don't know. Are you typing it?
It's in the chat. Oh, I sent it to Blanca. Fool that I am sometimes. Piano Career.
You want to take piano, Bianca?
Blanca, yeah.
Blanca.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can't recommend that school enough. You're getting all the secrets that have been sequestered in secret for a long time in the Russian school for the price of $47 a month. So this piano method has been literally locked away in conservatories in Russia for generations. And she's teaching it. So
can I ask what's the difference? I don't know how you learn piano before, but what's the difference why you recommend this one so much?
First thing is that the Russian school of piano playing is holistic. So they focus on the whole body.
Oh.
They focus on the sound. They focus on the musicality of what you're playing, and they focus on the technique. So it encompasses the whole picture and not just put your hands here and clunk, 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 clunk. The other thing is whole arm weighted action. So in the Russian school of piano, you do not use your fingers to strike the keys at all. It's the weight of the hand. So there's a specific way in which you play the piano that transfers the weight of the whole relaxed arm into the fingertips. I was taught to play the harpsichord method from years, from forever ago. On the harpsichord, you played with finger action. You actually struck the keys with your fingers, which when you strike the keys with your finger muscles, it creates a harsh percussive sound on the piano versus a singing sonorous sound, which is what you get from the weight of your arm. And playing with finger action and finger weight on the piano forte is actually really perilous to the piano player because the keys are weighted and they're heavier than the harpsichord. The harpsichord keys had no weight, so they weren't detrimental to the health of the pianist or to the harpsichordist. But to a pianist, it's really hard on your wrist and your arm and your fingers because the keys are so heavy. So in the Russian school of piano playing, you're actually pressing into the keys like they're a gelatinous surface, or they're it's like a spongy surface. rather than striking the keys. And it just goes step by meticulous step. And I would recommend everyone. I started from the very beginning, even though I had 15 years of piano lessons. And there were so many things that I had to unlearn, but it was revolutionary. And now playing is actually enjoyable and fun, and I like the way it sounds. And so beginning level is over 2 years. It takes 2 years of daily practice to get through the beginning level until you move
Wow.
into intermediate.
How long every day?
45 minutes. I do 30. It's supposed to be 45, but
Okay.
You should play like one day or
Yeah.
Do you,
what's that?
do you want your
Play
performance
I
now?
have a video on YouTube. I can send it to you guys. This is from
Yeah,
5. This
We
is
want to
from
watch live.
yeah.
live.
You want live.
Okay, hold
Live.
on.
Pressure, pressure. Poor guy.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going right now.
Yeah, you said live. Let's see. Or I probably have to change my microphone. I wonder. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
People still hear you.
I can't move my microphone otherwise. Let's see. Actually, I'll just play a different song. This is from, this is a piece for dessert from the, so we have this book that we play through, but then occasionally we have pieces for dessert. So is it loud enough? Let me play something. Can you hear? Yeah, okay.
Yep.
This is Duke Ellington, in a sentimental mood for beginners.
Woo!
Yeah, I should not have played that without music. I don't have the music here, but yeah.
It's good. I'm already inspired. I'm gonna learn it now.
You're gonna learn it now.
Yes, I'm gonna move my piano here so I can
Oh.
force myself to learn it now.
Yeah, where's your piano? You have a piano?
I do have I think I probably have the similar kind. I have digital Yamaha something.
Yeah, this is a Yamaha. I need to get a new one though, because the MIDI on this doesn't work. And it's disturbing my neighbors to try and record, because I want to send, you can send in for feedback and get like feedback on what you're playing. But
what's your Yamaha series?
Digital piano P35.
P35. Okay.
P35. But yeah, I'll also send you a video and you can watch Something-
Oh yeah, please send it to all of us because I want to see it
something
too.
that was better than that. It would have been better if I had been looking at the music, but I was like under the spotlight and I was like, I can't remember this piece.
No, you're doing great. We know nothing about it. I know nothing
yeah.
about it. I don't know you guys. So
That is
okay.
that is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen people play. You're talking about playing not with the fingers, playing with the whole
Right.
arms. And I've seen people play like that, and I thought, well, are they just exaggerating? I didn't realize
No.
that was actually a style.
Yeah.
In other things, I've done a lot of like online stuff trying to teach myself, and
Right.
and nobody ever talked about that. Nobody talked about that playing from like the shoulders.
Well,
So-
yeah, I'm actually playing from my back.
oh,
So
back?
here. Yeah, these muscles here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, now you got me. Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like teaching. I'm Sujin.
So the video I sent you is from 5 months ago, and I just played all the pieces that I had been practicing and put them on the school's website. That was a while ago, and that's much better than what I just did now.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you so much. I better get off. My husband's gonna say an hour and a half, and plus I'd already been in Craig's, so it's like
Oh, yeah.
all evening I've been in Spanish class.
Muy bien.
That's okay.
Yeah, and
that's
I
okay.
need to go to the dentist, so
Uh-oh, are you still having work done on that?
yeah, now they're putting the actual permanent. They were supposed to put the permanent crown in last week, but they canceled. They're like, we have to remake the crown, so I have to go in today and get it put on, and then they have to work on the other side. And yeah, but yeah, pianocareeracademy.com. Become a student and talk to me when you have problems or questions or concerns, and we can work through it together. Ilinka is an amazing teacher. I mean, if you think I'm even remotely an okay teacher, she will blow you away. She's just, and there's like 700 videos on there
Oh, wow.
of tutorials, more than that probably. And there's a beginning course, which if you're gonna do it, y'all need to do it because it's new to you. So there's a beginning course, and then there's an intermediates course, and then there's an advanced course. There's a sight reading course, and then there's a scales and arpeggio course, which is scales and arpeggio course you can't start until after 6 months of daily practice, or you've passed lesson 48 in the beginning lessons.
Oh, wow.
So,
Okay.
and do not go faster than you can play nearly perfectly. You know, the piece doesn't have to be perfect, but pretty close. So,
I'm today. From today.
oh, yay! Oh, and write it down on a calendar too. Make your notes. So I did 411 days yesterday. It's day
Oh my God.
411. So
I'll record myself. I'll record every day.
oh,
and then,
wow.
yeah, it'll be fun to see the improvement, after
Right.
100 days.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can stick to 3 days or not.
Yeah. So, and I just do 30 minutes because, I couldn't do 45 minutes, but now I'm getting to the point where I have enough material where like 45 just is kind of almost happening on its own. And because you end up, when you get in the scales and arpeggios course, you end up practicing scales and arpeggios for at least 15 to 30 minutes. So, once you're done with that, then, you go to your pieces and you're already at 45 minutes to an hour. So it's not hard. But yeah, I just did 30 minutes, do it every day, try to do it the very first thing in the day. The video, so your very first piece is literally going to be one pitch, just because you have to learn the whole arm weighted action. So the first pieces are super simple. Play them 1,000 times until it's not really 1,000 actually, but until it's perfect and easy and natural. But yeah, you'll start with just the middle finger is the first thing you start with. So, I'm excited for you.
I'm very excited too, because every time I hear people playing piano and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. And then
Yeah.
every time I hear people singing, I'm like, oh my God, this is so emotional. I want to sing
Yeah.
too.
Right.
That's
Right.
why I miss
I have a
karaoke.
course for that too.
Yeah, you actually gave me both.
Oh yeah. Very
So
good.
I just didn't start.
Yeah.
I found all kind of
Yeah.
excuses
The
for
piano
myself.
one is a little more practical because you can put it on headphones and kind of do it in your own privacy than the singing one. Yeah. So do it, and there was something else I was gonna say about that, but yeah, it's great. And
They're-
and then watch the video I sent you, and that'll motivate you even more.
Yeah, I've already clicked on the link, so I'll
Muy
watch
bien.
it when it close.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Nos vemos mañana.
Nos vemos. Sí, en la clase de alemán. Sí, muy bien.
Adiós.
Adiós.
Adios. Tschüss.
Bye. Tschüss.